Today I'm going to explain to you why my father's dog tags are very important to me. These are his dog tags. He served in the military at a very young age, and that's something that I've really come to appreciate. He also started a family at a very young age as soon as he finished with the Army. As many soldiers do, he struggled with PTSD and depression when he returned. And then he also went through, he had cancer twice and is a 2-time cancer survivor. My dad is important to me because he was a role model at a very young age. Prior to serving in the military, my father wanted to go to school to be a lawyer. This is something he had to give up at the time in order to be in the military. And when he returned, he started a family instead of going back to college. Growing up, I was the youngest of 3 children. He was married as soon as he finished his service in the Army and had 2 children who are both a decade older than me, if you can believe that. As a young child, I was very involved in sports, and even after working long hours, he always found the time to come see me in my sports. My father served in the military, and this is something that gives me great pride to know that he sacrificed for his country. I always hesitated to ask my dad about his time in the Army. What I do know of my dad's time in the Army is this. He enlisted at age 17 to serve in the Army. He studied intelligence before going overseas to South Korea. He lost many friends and fellow soldiers and became one of the youngest ranked as Staff Sergeant E6 to become the chain commander for his unit. He rotated out of the Army after just 3 years. My dad suffers from PTSD and is a cancer survivor. He struggled his entire life with PTSD, had vivid nightmares about being in Korea and the things that he saw. I remember as a child him watching war movies and then responding later to it, having bad nightmares, waking up a lot. And when I was 19, he was actually diagnosed with cancer. I was the only one to help care for him, and it was really hard to see my strong father so weak and ill. Luckily, his cancer went into remission and he was fine for about 2 years. Unfortunately, after that, the cancer did return, and they said because of the amount of radiation he had already had, he couldn't have any additional radiation, and they had to remove his voice box. My once lively and very active dad and talkative dad lost his ability to talk. He does have an electrolarynx now, and he can communicate, but it's obviously not the same. So my father is a hero in every way, the way he has cared for his family, the way he served his country, and the way he battled cancer and survived. He was called to serve the country at an age when most of us are going to college and having fun with our friends, and I think it's incredible how he fought back.